Two, one, and we're rolling. So, hello everyone. This is the Jonathan from the Johnny Talks podcast. I'm here with Erik from the Mastermind Within. We're live actually from the Fincon Expo 2019 in Washington D.C. and I'm also filming it as we speak. So the purpose, everything good here? Just a little check on the cables. Yeah. That's what happens when you're doing it live.
It was just blocking me.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so we'll start again, and we'll not start again. Anyway, so I'm here with Erik, and the point of having Erik is to share perspectives on the video and on the podcast, because this is the purpose of the podcast, to have several guests, several interviews, and also offer new perspectives. So, Erik, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much for letting me come and share my thoughts with your audience. So I'm Erik, 27, living in Minnesota. I've been blogging a couple years now about personal finance and self-improvement at the Mastermind Within. I just launched a new curation website called Personal Finance Blogs, and I'm just super passionate about helping others reach their goals and helping them just live the life that they deserve and want to live.
Yeah, that's very cool. I like that perspective, and I met Erik through our Facebook group that we have with Finconers or money nerds, depending on how you call them. So we we connected, and he's a interesting guy and very very nice, and we get along quite well. I met him like 2 days ago, and what is interesting is the name of his website, The Mastermind Within, because we are here at Fincon talking about money, and my blog, for example, is called, or the podcast is even johnnytalks.com, talking with a focus on money, and there's many other bloggers here, many other podcasters, YouTubers, with, for example, money, debt, savings in their brand name. However, Erik has a different approach. His brand is The Mastermind Within, and that's what I wanted to dig into today, actually. Mm-hmm. So, why not something related to money in your brand name? Why The Mastermind Within?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, why The Mastermind Within? It's kind of along the lines of that everyone is the master of their own life, and everyone is able to create. Okay, so this is my opinion. Other people might not agree with this, but I believe that everyone can create the life that they want.
We are here to hear your opinion, Erik.
Yeah. Well, some people, there's the victim mentality. We aren't going to get into that, but that's kind of the concept that you are the master of your life. There's a mastermind within you that you can tap into through personal development and through just intentional living is essentially what it is. It's what's your goals, what steps are you going to take to get to your goals, and then taking those steps and then getting to your goals. I mean, it's kind of a simple process there, but that's kind of what it comes down to. And it's just, and I guess maybe where I'm kind of interesting or I'm weird is that I really dive into the details.
We're like weird people. I am weird, you're weird.
Yeah.
There's like 2,500 weird people here.
Yeah. I mean, it's just diving into the details. So I talk about that too. It's just not being afraid to turn over every stone and to just go after your goals relentlessly and get into what you want.
Okay. And do you have a special path, or for example, what type of goals are you talking about? For example, be financially free, travel around the world, being able to provide for your family or be more present with your family. What type of goals are we looking at?
Yeah, it can really be any of the goals that you just mentioned, and I really like this question's really good because it makes me focus on providing a better answer for sure. So financial freedom is something that I believe everyone wants subconsciously. They don't want, working is great, and being productive is what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
However, having the freedom to do what you want with your time, and then that's what financial freedom is, and I think everyone subconsciously wants that, whether they know it or not. So that's part of my message is how can you align your finances, both your income and spending habits, with how you want your life to look, and then how do you also invest so that you're meeting your longer term goals as well. So talk a little bit about that. Talk about debt pay down.
Yeah, now we're getting into the finance. What brings us all here?
Yeah.
So that's good. So any, but is your website, the Mastermind Within, only linked to getting to your goals with finances, or do you also go through other aspects of life? Because there's health, there's relationships, further other areas. So.
Yeah, I think as time has went on, I've looked to incorporate those other things. Something that I'm passionate about and something that I've kind of gone down is more this overall life mastery kind of perspective of you could be the richest person in the world, but if you're 500 pounds and you can't walk, what good is it? Likewise, you could have the most ridiculous six-pack and you could be super socially awkward, and is that a fulfilling life? I don't know. Or
I like that,
or likewise, there's so many different combinations of those things. Ultimately, it depends on what you are happy with. It's kind of like, what's your ideal life? That's part of the goals. But in my opinion, being well-rounded in all those areas, like you're saying, wealth, health, relationships, all those things are really important. And as you start to cultivate new relationships, as you get in shape, as you improve with your money, at least in my experience, it's kind of been eye-opening for my confidence and what I've, just how I go about life now that I'm in shape. I can go and do stuff. I can feel good about my body. I can eat junk once in a while and not and not feel bad about it. With money, now that I have a good savings amount and investments, now I can say, okay, well, maybe now I'll splurge on something, or maybe I can, go on a trip that I wanted to and enjoy life with my family or friends.
Awesome. And I hear something in your speech that I can hear transformation or an evolution. So, what kicked this? What kicked this change for you? Because you say I'm fit right now, etc. Were you not fit before, or not managing your money responsibly, or was there? What was the switching point, for example?
So, see, you might laugh here, but of course it was a girl at some point. I got broken up with in college, and I was like, okay, I gotta hit the gym. I gotta get
find
back
a new one.
No, but that kind of where it started. Where in college it was a breakup, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, I need to kind of get myself going, because I was kind of just going with this girl. I thought it was really good, and then and maybe you've been in the situation as well, but you get in a situation where things aren't as they seem, and then you get broken up with, and then I was crushed, and I'm like, that's not how I should live my life. I shouldn't become really sad from something I can't control.
It often happened that you you're at the low point, and you it's easy to drag into it, and then a realization point comes and then you wake up. But I don't know, it often happens in a low point. I've been a bit unsuccessful in my studies. So, I studied economics and management, and I was not the best performing student. But at some point I'm like, oh, come on, what am I doing? It happened to me too, but it was more the studies, not the lady. But I've been also in my career having a few low points to myself, and that's usually when somehow at some point a kicker happens.
Yeah, and then I think just a little bit more generally in terms of motivation, one of the people I look up to is my dad, and he's been successful in his career.
Okay.
And early on in his career, he was able to get promoted, work his way up at a company, and provide the opportunity for my mom to stay home with me and my sisters. So looking at that's really motivated me in my career and my personal development to try and create a situation financially for my future family. And that's kind of the internal motivation. And then I think that I alluded to this a little bit earlier, but I'm someone who is relentless. I'll keep going and going and going until I get to where
we'll get
I'm
back
at.
to that a bit later. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's what you say. It's a bit interesting because I was just reading. Actually, I will teach you to be rich on my way here, and one passage he talks Ramit Sethi. There's a passage where he talks about debt, and actually he says, at some point, you will go from a hot emotional moment to a low. How did he say that? To a cool, more like driven way of trying to solve your problem or get out of your situation. So it's kind of this pattern I see here again. So that's interesting. And okay, but that's very cool. And what I wanted to go at is, so you've been developing habits, getting back into shape, starting the website, the podcast. What all sorts of activities are you doing relentlessly?
What other things?
Yeah, I mean, no. What are the? Sorry, I meant the whole activity. Do you have a day job actually, or so you have a day job, and then you have all these activities? Anything else? So if I just sum it up for you to make it simple, you have your day job, you have your blog, curated blog, the financial curated website, and the podcast. Anything else?
I do consulting. I do statistical consulting.
How do you manage
doctors.
that? I mean, it's like 5 activities.
Yeah, it's time management is. I don't know. I'm good at prioritizing my time. If I, and also so, over the years, I've looked to experiment with what makes me happy, and then also what doesn't make me happy. So actually earlier in the talk, Ramit Sethi was talking about how one of his quotes is, and I'm going to butcher this because I don't actually know the quote, but it's spend a lot on the things you like and don't spend a lot on the things you don't like.
Yeah, cut mercilessly on the...
And spend extravagantly or something. So apply that to time. Things that I don't care about and that aren't going to bring me happiness and that aren't productive, I don't do. Things that bring me happiness and that are productive, over time I've done that. So one example is watching TV. I don't watch TV. I don't have Netflix. I watch YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, but
I'm the same here. I almost never watch TV anymore. So
I don't go to movies. I mean, some people love that. Some people will spend all weekend and watch movies, or watch TV, and that's good for them. If they like it, then okay. If you like movies, go ahead, watch them. But I've realized I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's not what you. It's not exciting. I have a kind of corollary to that. It's called. It's from Derek Sievers, quoted by Tim Ferriss. It's like, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. So it's like, do you want to go watch that movie? Yeah. If it's no. Yeah. If it's like, do you want to watch Star Wars? Let's say you're a Star Wars fans. Yeah, I want to go. And if it's not that, I want to do it. Then maybe you should not prioritize it or make time for it and focus on the things you enjoy doing as well.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of with all those things. It comes down to my purpose, which is that I love building things and I love helping others. So if I've tried to kind of get my time spent into fulfilling at least one of those, if not both. Yeah,
I see that. Okay, excellent. And talking about personal finance, because that's what the blog is about, that's what we are here for. Could you share a few personal finance tips to our audience? What would you recommend to do, or how to get started?
Yeah. Well, so it always comes back to the goals.
Yeah,
I've talked about that a lot. I've talked about that a lot.
First, make a goal.
Yeah, is goals. Is kind of what do you want your lifestyle to look like? Where are you currently, and what do you want to change about your situation?
Yeah.
Because someone who is 23 and just got out of college and has a lot of student debt, that person will be in a completely different situation than someone who's 30, is married, maybe has a kid, and has a house, or maybe they're renting and they want a house. So it depends on whoever is listening. So I'd say it goes back to the goals. Number one
goals,
and then number two is tracking
your expenses, your budgeting.
Yes. So tracking expenses. You don't necessarily need a budget, but you need to know. This is really crucial. You need to know where your money is going each month. And I think it goes. This is one of my favorite quotes. What gets measured gets managed.
Peter Drucker.
Yeah. So with that one, so for example, every single month I download my transactions. I use Mint, which is a free software.
Yeah, it's in the US, so
yeah.
I don't know what's in Europe. Actually, I use my own old school Excel sheets actually.
Yeah.
But I've done it once and I tweak it a little bit over time, but not everything. So
I mean,
Mint, I know it's connected to your bank
well.
account, right?
Yeah. So that'd be another way is to just download your bank statements and then do that. So and then I do actually drop it into Excel and then categorize everything that way.
Yeah.
But then through that, then I have, over the last 4 years, I have every single, by line item, so by category, I have all my expenses. And I can see over time, okay, in June, I spent $350 on food.
But do you do that every month or?
Yeah.
And how long does it take you?
Like 30 minutes.
Okay, so 30 minutes spent on this. Okay.
Yeah. And so then how you connect your tracking with your goals is you can kind of do it like a budget, but more just, okay, what's your goal? Are you trying to pay down, an extra $500 a month of debt? Well, if you make $3,000 and you're spending $3,000, then there's nothing left over for debt.
There's no progress. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But then once you track, then you can look at that and be like, oh shoot, I spend $1,000 on food.
Yeah.
And if you spend $1,000 on food, what things could you do to change that to 500 so that then you could then put that extra 500 to debt? Or likewise, could you move into a different place?
Yeah.
Or could you take the bus instead of driving? Or could you not just not take a vacation for a month or two? I don't know. These are just examples that are popping in my head. But how do you widen the gap between your income and expenses once you have your expenses all categorized? Then you can definitely do that.
Okay, excellent. And I know. So, and what are you're currently investing in stock markets or real estate or?
I love real estate. I love the thought of it. I house hacked.
Love real estate.
I house hacked for 4 years, and it was a really good situation for me.
Can you explain a bit what is house hacking?
Yeah,
maybe
for sure.
The listeners are not aware of what is house hacking.
Yeah, it's so hacking your house expenses by letting roommates come and live with you, and then you're kind of the landlord, but you're living in the house as well.
Yeah.
So I had 3 friends move in with me after college, and then
that's perfect. Yeah.
And then they paid me rent. So over 4 years, I ended up once I did all the math from sale proceeds, rental income, and then subtracting out all of the expenses and mortgage, I made about $50,000 over 4 years. So live for free,
but that's huge.
And make like $10,000 a year.
Yeah, that's excellent.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, I've put my apartment on Airbnb.
That's another way house hacking.
Yeah, so it's all these kind of hacks to try to lower your monthly costs. Or Okay, that's excellent. And any other? So you said the house hacking.
Yeah. Any
other venues of investing?
Yeah, I mean outside the kind of the blog and business ventures. I do have like my retirement with work.
Yeah.
I'm in stocks and bonds there, general stocks and bonds there. And then personally with my taxable accounts, I'm interested in crypto. I have some crypto. I have precious metals.
Oh, precious metals as well.
Yeah, that's another piece where I don't know. So this is probably a completely. I could talk about this for another 30 minutes, which we probably won't get into. But my whole thought is I want to get rich at a very young age, and I want to
get rich quick.
So how do you do that? You need to take a ton of risk.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think you can take risks smartly if you put your money in the right stuff. So the way I think about it is the concept of asymmetric risk, where how can I buy assets that are good, but that are low priced and good, and potentially could have a hockey stick like return graph. Yeah. So crypto is like an example of that. Could Bitcoin?
It's very volatile.
Could Bitcoin go from 10,000 to 100,000? I have no idea, but could it? And am I willing to? To your point, am I willing to then gut out from 10,000 to 3,000?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the bet. It's like okay, it's kind of a statistics problem at that point. Like, is it if depending on the probabilities, which you don't know the probabilities, but if I gave you the opportunity to flip a coin for $10, flip a coin. If it's heads, I'll give you 100. If it's tails, 0.
For $10.
For $10.
Yeah, but the risk reward is high. So I mean, $10, I would do it.
Yeah, because
because it's $10. My risk reward is about what is it, like 9?
Your expected value is 50. So like, you should always take that bet.
Yeah.
So I mean that's kind of the thought process is, you know, maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but you know, who knows? I'm gonna try it, and if I have to keep working at my day job, then cool. But if not, oh well.
And okay, crypto is one venue. I mean, I'm familiar with it, and I also own crypto. We talked about it off air, but it's a small portion of my portfolio, so of investment. Because of the risk and the volatility, so I'm willing to place a bet, but I'm careful as well. So you said, so retirement, crypto, any other crazy how to get rich quick?
No, I think it's just.
I mean, it's not what I promote on the channel, but.
No, and it's not.
It's I'm more like long-term investing, solid, reasonable, even boring sometimes.
And really,
but
it's
as well have the presenting what is crypto, presenting what is investing in Legos or other venues.
Yeah, and really it's more a thought on you're still going to need to have a good amount of money in an account to even generate the returns that, or to generate the kind of dollars that, or you know, whatever currency you're in.
Yeah.
I keep saying dollars, so pardon that. But
no worries.
You know, to 100% on 10,000. That's only 10,000, whereas 7% on a million is 70. So like, I think the main focus should go back to goals and tracking, and then I'd add a third step to personal finances, I did say this, but trying to increase the gap between your income and expenses.
It's
so making more money, providing value, communication is something that is really important there.
And there's one thing, one concept that is often forgotten with personal finance and money is you can cut as much as you want, but that's up to a point you cannot cut anymore. So actually I said that a bit wrongly, but I meant you can cut your cost up to a point, but there's no limit to how much you can make. It's I mean your time is a bit like your income potential is infinite. That's it. Your time is limited, your time is finite, and your income potential is infinite.
Yeah.
So there's many venues thanks to investing, developing a side business.
Yeah.
And often it's forgotten, so I just want to re-say it on this episode.
Yeah. And I also think the get rich quick, or whatever you want to call it, I say get rich fast, but it's like, I mean, you still have to have a solid savings base, and then it also goes back to the goals and your risk tolerance, because my way is definitely not for everyone, because you know, some people have kids, some people don't want to see their account go down.
Yeah, and
whatever.
I think before the get rich quick or the sexy investment like crypto or whatever, crowdfunding, whatever, investing in startup business, which could return exponentially, go through the roof. I like it. You know, it's opportunities, but in my opinion, we should have a good, solid foundation. And for example, for me, in my opinion, it's good to have your emergency fund, your maybe investing in stocks or something that returns more, still risky but more safely, or that is more that will gives you more peace of mind that you have something growing in the background, like the stocks, whether it's 7% growth annually or something, it doesn't matter, but just something that grows solidly, or real estate, which is more tangible. I mean, that's for me. I'm a get rich slow guy, but as well I like to play a bit with crypto, with investing in crowdfunding, testing out platforms.
Yeah, definitely. I think, at least for me, I think speculating with 10%, I'm comfortable with a lot of percent, but I don't see anything wrong with, once you have your emergency fund, once you have
the foundation,
your financial foundation in place, then you know that's kind of maybe the get rich fast way is first get an emergency fund, get your foundation, and then maybe you can start researching these fringe things and maybe try and hit a home run with 10%
and today earlier on I talked with Masterworks. They offer a platform to invest. it's a, let's say, how can I say that? It's like real estate crowdfunding, but it's art. So you invest in a piece of a Van Gogh or a Andy Warhol. So there's so many ways to invest and to create money. There's people investing in wine, but for any of those, you need to make your research and then see if it's worth it for you if you can bear the risk. Okay, that's excellent. So Erik, I think we're gonna wrap up.
Okay.
Thank you for being on the show. And if people want to know more about you, where can they find you actually?
Yeah. So my site, themastermindwithin.com, would be the best spot to take a look at what I got going on. So you can read my message. Also, the Mastermind Within podcast is on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all the other ones.
Excellent.
And then I'd really like it if you check out my new personal finance blog site, which is called personalfinanceblogs.com.
Am I referred on that?
You are on there. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Then you can go check. It's safe. It's good.
It's good. Yeah. So I definitely recommend that. And I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, and I hope that you're.
Yeah, it's the first time I did this live or in person, so it's a good experience for me as well. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you get something from it, and I'll speak to you next time.
See ya.